super early on Friday morning, and the Melbourne Marathon build series starts now. Alright, so we made it down to the session, down at the rail trail today for, what have we got? Today we've got 3 by 10 minute threshold with 60 seconds jog recovery in between the sets because my coach is mean. And Dad's about to get hit by a car. Which wouldn't be good. So for this first video of the series, I thought just do like 3 days of training and what we've done already this week for training, and sort of can go over some of the goals for Melbourne, which is 6 weeks away now, and some of the goals for this, the video series and the YouTube going forward. So I'm going to finish getting ready and then we're going to get out there. I already know I'm going to make people mad warming up in Alpha Flyers, but out and back session today. Let's roll. Get put out there. All right, so what is this series? Might be a bit generous to call it that going to be. Hopefully 6 episodes, because we've got 6 weeks until the race. And it's going to be, well, a bit of everything. It'll be training, sort of mindset leading up to the race, and ultimately it's kind of a comeback series. This will be my first half in ages, and just my first race in general for a while. We've got Sydney in between there, which is a good goal. So just another way to have a bit of fun, do something cool, and hopefully do what I'm guilty of in the past and what I think a lot of runners do, and that's sort of disappear when things aren't going perfect, because it's uncomfortable to share the sort of the lows of running, especially when you're around so many people that are on a high. So that's what it is. This is episode 1. Sort of 3 days of training with a little recap on week 2 back, week 2 of proper training back. So first up is threshold session. So let's get it done. All right, rep 1, uphill. Let's go. 1 down, 2 to go. Legs popped at the end of that one. Last one. 3, 2, 1. So, survived. Second big threshold, or big-ish thresholdy session. We knew there was a reason we came down here to do it. It's a bit of a trek from home. First 17 minutes worth of effort was uphill. But not too crazy uphill bikes, but just enough that you could feel it. Yeah, just enough that you could feel the uphill, but didn't really slow you down, which was good. We turned around. I thought it would be rolling down the hill a fair bit quicker, but it ended up being the opposite. We rolled up the hill way quicker and just had no legs on the downhill. But that's all part of coming back, getting fitness again, and trying not to be impatient. We're probably a little bit over eager in the first two reps. I definitely paid for it in the last one. A little bit of WD-40 and we'll be back. All right, so we made it home from the session. We've got a breakfast, half a loaf of bread today. I thought I'd go through the session from this morning, how it went. I'll try and put the clips up here, not the clips, the Chorus files up here, but I'm not sure if I know how to do that yet. So it was 15k total, an hour and 11 minutes, with 3 10-minute efforts, with 60 seconds recovery in between, which I still think is mean, but I think my coach would say he's being nice, not making me do 1 30-minute instead of 3 10. And we went down to the rail trail. The first 17k down there is uphill. Obviously, I didn't make it further than 8k out, so the whole way out was uphill. First rep was 3:45 average, then minute off. The second rep
was about 350 average. When we turned around to start coming down the hill, that's when things really started to go wrong today. And the third rep was again about 350, 355 average. But the legs just turned off when we hit the downhill. But that's just getting the conditioning back in the legs. So the rest of today, I'm going to work on my picture that I'll show you in a second. It'll be a bit hard to see because there's too much light at the moment, but it's kind of a fitting picture to do in the Melbourne build because I'm drawing my Melbourne Marathon race shoes, which is kind of cool. It's almost a self-portrait because they've got my time from down in Melbourne in 2019 on them, but kind of probably the closest I'll ever get to doing a self-portrait. Then summer has well and truly arrived on the Gold Coast very early. It's meant to be like 31 degrees today, so we're going to go to the beach for a swim. And then I'll pick this back up when we hit the trails tomorrow morning up at the Coastal High 50, which we're doing some photography work for. This was one of the challenging choices of this build back. I've been training for the 50. Well, I've been training for the 25 at the 50 as well as I could. Well, actually it's 28, but and then just as things started to go wrong, it was a really tough choice to decide: do I do the race? Do I not do the race? I wanted to do well at the race, and sort of thought that if I went in it, I wouldn't be able to help myself, and I'd probably end up having to drop out at some point because it's gone too hard. And there's like 1,200 meters of climbing in the 28K, so that's a lot for me. That's a lot for me. And I haven't been able to get out on the hills and train, so made the tough decision not to race tomorrow, but we're still going to go out and get a fun long run done. Well, not a long run, a fun easy hour done on the trails. If you thought this morning's scenery was pretty, then tomorrow's going to be even better.